Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Esso Repertory Theatre, brought to you by the Esso organization and its worldwide affiliates. Tonight, Harold Pinter's The Dumb Waiter in a performance by the Hull House Theatre of Chicago. This is the first community theater in the United States, begun in 1889 under the direction of Jane Addams. From its beginning, the Hull House Theatre, now under the direction of Robert Sickinger, was noted for performances of Albee, Beckett, Brecht, Jack Gelber, Frank Gilroy, and Marie Shisgo. Now, how do you tell a story if you don't know what the story is? The playwright who has worked out this problem best in our time is Harold Pinter, the author of the play we're going to see tonight. It may strike you as a problem that shouldn't have to be worked out at all. Why bother to tell a story if you can't be sure of its meaning? Well, there's a very good reason, at least in our time. We happen to live in an age that is apprehensive without quite being able to define its fears. Many of them can be defined, of course, but not all. We're afraid of war, atom, other things are plain to us, but that's not the end of the story. We're also a little bit afraid of ourselves, quite certain what we were going to do next. Nor do we trust the things we touch and bump up against and use every day and night. We can be setting an alarm clock before going to bed and suddenly feel something off, something alien, something hostile, maybe even dangerous. We can open the same door every day of our lives and still feel vaguely uneasy as we put our hand on the knob. You can call this alienation or a sense of being dislocated in the universe or whatever you want to call it. It's still a sensation most of us have or have had at one time or another, and it's been creeping up lately. In short, it's a fact of life without being a fact in any measurable sense. It can't be weighed scientifically or nailed to the wall. It's an apprehension that seems to be without foundation in experience, but is still there. I suppose it never goes away. Now, that's a thing that ought to be dramatized simply because it exists. If drama imitates life, it ought to be able to imitate that one strange and unnamed part of life. But how do you do it when you can't explain it? In the past, it was probably dealt with in one of two ways. It could be absorbed into a myth about being lost in a labyrinth, say, or having to wrestle a mysterious dog with three heads. Or it could be partly tamed by turning it into a fairy tale, as someone like Hans Christian Andersen did. Fairy tales aren't quaint little daydreams meant to soothe the kiddies, you know. They're much more like nightmares. There's nearly always something monstrous and horrifying and not quite graspable inside them if you're really paying attention. But we seem to have lost the gift for the myth, and we feel a bit superior to fairy tales now, and so there's no easy way for a writer to capture this sense of profound but undefined fear in any accepted form of storytelling. We don't have a handy shape for it. Harold Pinter, therefore, has had to invent his own shape. It must seem contemporary, it must seem almost real, it must be in some way disturbing, and it mustn't give away the secret, the cause, because we don't know the secret. Well, I shouldn't say anything more about Mr. Pinter's methods except that he's a natural storyteller telling unnatural stories. He has a gift for suspense, but a part of the suspense is that we will never know the answer.
about that, eh? Listen to this. There was a man of 87, and he wanted to cross the road. But there was a lot of traffic, see? And he couldn't see how he was going to squeeze through. So he crawled under a lorry.
He what?
He crawled under a lorry, a stationary lorry.
No.
The lorry started and ran over him.
Go on.
Well, that's what it says here.
Get away.
It's enough to make you want to puke, isn't it?
Whoever advised him to do a thing like that?
A man of 87 crawling under a lorry.
It's unbelievable.
Well, it's down here in black and white.
Incredible. I was going to ask you something.
What are you doing out there?
Oh, I was just
Well,
going to...
what about the tea?
I was just going to make it.
Get on and make it, will you?
Yes, I will. He's laid on some very nice crockery this time, I'll say that. It's sort of striped. There's a white stripe. Very nice, I'll say that. You know, sort of round the cup, round the rim. The rest is all black, you see. Then the saucer's black, except for right in the middle where the cup goes where it's white. The plates are the same, you see, only they've got a black stripe. The plates, right across the middle. Yes, I'm quite taken with the crockery.
What do you want plates for? You're not going to eat.
I brought a few biscuits.
Well, you better eat them quick.
I always bring a few biscuits or a pie. You know I can't drink my tea without anything to eat.
Well, make the tea, will you? Time's getting on.
You got any cigarettes? I think I'm out. I hope it won't be a long job, this one. Oh, I wanted to ask you something.
Cool.
What's that?
A child of 8 killed a cat.
Get away.
Well, it's a fact. Oh, what about that, eh? A child of 8 killing a cat.
How did he do it?
It was a girl.
How did she do it?
Well, she, Oh, it doesn't say.
Why not?
Wait a minute. It says here, a brother aged 11 viewed the incident from a tool shed.
Go on.
That's bloody ridiculous.
I'll bet he did it.
Who?
The brother.
God, I think you're right. Oh, what about that, eh? A kid of 11 killing a cat and then blaming it on his little sister of 8. God, it's enough to...
What time's he getting in touch? What time's he getting in touch?
Well, what's the matter with you? Well, it could be any time. Any time.
Oh, I was going to ask you something.
What?
Have you noticed the time it takes that tank to fill?
What tank?
The lavatory.
No, does it?
Terrible.
Well, what about it?
Well, what do you think's wrong with it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Oh, it's got a deficient bore cock, that's all.
A deficient what?
Bore cock.
No, really?
Yes, that's what I should say.
Go on, it didn't occur to me. I didn't have a very restful sleep this morning, did you? It's not much of a bed, is it? And I could have done with another blanket, too. Hello! What's this? The first 11. Cricketers! You seen this, Ben?
What?
The first 11.
What?
There's a photo here of the first 11.
What first 11?
It doesn't say.
What about that tea?
They all look a bit old to me. I wouldn't want to live in this dump. Wouldn't mind if you had a window, you could see what it looked like outside.
What do you want a window for?
Well, I like to have a bit of a view, Ben. It whiles away the time. I mean, you come into a place while it's still dark, you come into a room you've never seen before, you sleep all day, you do your job, you go out in the night again. I like to have a bit of a view. I like to look at the scenery. You never get the chance in this job.
You get your holidays, don't you?
Only a fortnight.
God, you kill me. Anyone would think you was working every day. How often do we do a job? Once a week? What are you complaining about?
We got to be on tap, though, haven't we? You can't move out of the house in case a call comes.
You know what your trouble is?
What?
You've got no interest.
Oh, I've got interests.
What? Tell me one of your interests.
I've got interests.
Now look at me. What have I got?
I don't know what.
Well, I've got me woodwork. I've got me model boats. Have you ever seen me idle? I'm never idle. I know how to occupy my time to its best advantage. And then when a call does come, I'm ready.
Don't you ever get a bit fed up?
Fed up? What with?
Not these cigarettes, I've run out. There she goes. Now, I say the crockery's good. It is. It's very nice. But that's about all I can say for this place. It's worse than the last one we were in. Remember the last place? The last time, where was it? At least they had our wireless there. No, honest. It doesn't seem to bother much about our comfort these days.
When are you going to stop jabbering?
You could get rheumatism in a place like this if you stayed long.
Well, you're not staying long. So go and make the tea. Time's getting on.
Hey, I've been meaning to ask you something.
What the hell is it now?
Why did you stop the car in the middle of the road this morning?
Well, I thought you were asleep.
I was, but I woke up when you stopped. You did stop, didn't you? In the middle of the road. It was still dark, don't you remember? I looked out. It was misty. I thought perhaps you were going to have a nap, but you just was sitting up there dead straight like you were waiting for something.
I wasn't waiting for anything.
Then I must have fallen asleep again. Well, what was all that about then? Why did you stop?
We were too early.
Too early? What do you mean? We got the call, didn't we, saying we were to leave straight away? We did. We shoved out on the dot, so how could we be too early?
Who took the call, me or you?
You?
We were too early.
Too early for what? You mean that someone had to get out before we got in? I thought these sheets didn't look too bright. I thought they ponged a bit. I was too tired to notice when I came in this morning, eh? That's taking a bit of a liberty, isn't it? I don't want to share my bed sheets. I told you things were going down the drain. I mean, we've always had clean sheets laid on till now. I've noticed it.
How do you know those sheets weren't clean?
What do you mean?
How do you know those sheets weren't clean? You spent the whole day in them, haven't you?
You mean it might be my pong? It could be my pong, I suppose. It's difficult to tell. I really don't know what I pong like. That's the trouble. Hey, Ben.
Sure.
Ben.
What?
What town are we in? I've forgotten.
I've told you, Birmingham.
Go on. That's in the Midlands. The second biggest city in Great Britain. I'd never have guessed. Hey, today's Friday, isn't it? It'll be Saturday tomorrow.
Well, what about it?
We could go and watch the Villa.
They're playing away.
Oh, are they? Oh, what a pity.
Anyway, we haven't got time. We've got to get straight back.
We have in the past, though, haven't we? Stayed over and watched a game, haven't we, for a bit of relaxation?
Things have tightened up, mate. They've tightened up.
I saw the Villa get beat in a cup tie once. Who was it against now? White shirts. It was 1-1 at half-time. I'll never forget it. Their opponents won by a penalty. Talk about drama. It was a disputed penalty. Yes, disputed. They got beat 2-1 anyway because of it. You were there yourself.
Not me.
Yes, you were. Don't you remember the disputed penalty?
No.
He went down just inside the area. Then they all said he was just acting. I didn't think the other bloke had touched him myself. But the referee had it right on the spot.
Didn't touch him? What the hell are you talking about? He laid him out flat.
Not the Villa. The Villa don't play that sort of game.
Now, get out of it.
Hey, that must have been right here. In Birmingham.
What must?
The Villa, that must have been right here.
No, they were playing away.
Of course, you know who the other team was? It was the Spurs. It was Tottenham Hotspur.
What about it?
We've never done a job in Tottenham.
How do you know?
I'd have remembered Tottenham.
Don't make me laugh, will you?
Oh, when's he going to get in touch? Yes. I'd like to watch another football match. I've always been an ardent football fan. Here, what about coming to see the Spurs tomorrow?
They're playing away.
Who is?
The Spurs.
Well, they might be playing here.
Don't be silly.
Well, if they're playing away, they might be playing here. They might be playing the Villa.
The Villa are playing away.
Ben,
Away. They're all playing away.
Ben, look here.
What?
Look.
What's that?
I don't know.
Where'd it come from?
Under the door.
What is it?
I don't know.
Pick it up.
What do you mean?
Pick it up. What is it?
An envelope.
Is there anything on it?
No.
Is it sealed?
Yes.
Open it.
What?
Open it. What's in it?
Matches.
Matches?
Yes.
Yeah, show it to me. Yeah, nothing on it. Not a word.
Funny, isn't it?
Did it come under the door?
Must have done.
Well, go on.
Go on where?
Well, open the door. See if you can catch anyone.
Who, me?
Go on.
No one.
What did you see?
Nothing.
Well, they must have been pretty quick.
These'll come in handy,
Yes.
won't they?
Yes, you're always running out of matches, aren't you?
All the time.
Well, they'll come in handy then,
Yes.
won't they?
I could do with them. I could do with them too.
You could, eh?
Yes.
Why?
We haven't got any.
Well, you've got some now, haven't you?
I could light the kettle.
Yes, you're always cadging matches, aren't you?
Oh,
How many have you got there?
about a dozen.
Yeah. Where's them? Oh, red, too. You don't even need a box with them. Don't waste them! Well, go on. Go and light it.
Eh?
Go and light it.
Light what?
Well, the kettle.
You mean light the gas, don't you?
Who does?
You do?
What do you mean, I mean light the gas?
Well, that's what you mean, don't you, the gas?
Look, if I say go and light the kettle, I mean go and light the kettle.
How can you light a kettle?
Well, it's a figure of speech, light the kettle. It's a figure of speech.
I've never heard of it.
Well, light the kettle? Oh, common usage.
I think you've got it wrong.
What do you mean I've got it wrong?
They say put on the kettle.
Who does? I've never in all my life heard anyone say put on the kettle.
I bet my mother used to.
Your mother? When did you last see your mother?
Well, I don't know.
Well, what the hell are you talking about your mother for? Now, listen to me, Gus. I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I'm just trying to point out something to you.
Yes,
Who's the senior partner here, me or you?
You?
I'm looking after your interests, Gus. You've got to learn, mate.
But look, I have
Look,
never...
nobody says light the gas. What does the gas light?
What does the gas...
The kettle, you fool!
All right. All right.
What you waiting for?
I want to see if they light.
What?
The matches. I've lost the striker. Shall I try it on here? Here we are.
For crying out loud, put on the bloody kettle!
It's going.
What?
The stove. I wonder who it'll be tonight. Pen, I want to ask you something.
For crying out loud.
No, I was going to ask you something.
What are you sitting on my bed for? What's the matter with you? You're always asking me questions. What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
You never used to ask me so damn many questions. What's come over you?
I was just wondering.
Stop wondering. You've got a job to do. Why don't you just do it and shut up?
That's what I was wondering about.
What?
The job.
What job?
I thought perhaps you might know something. I thought perhaps you... I mean... Have you got any idea who it's going to be tonight?
Who what's going to be?
Who it's going to be?
Are you feeling all right?
Sure.
Well, go and make the tea.
Yes. Sure. The gas has gone out.
Well, what about it?
There's a meter.
Well, I haven't got any money.
Nor have I.
We'll have to wait then.
What for?
Wilson.
He might not come. He might just send a message. He doesn't always come.
We'll have to go without then, won't you?
Blimey.
You'll get a cup of tea afterwards. What's the matter with you?
I like to have one before.
You'd better get ready.
I don't know. That's a bit much, you know, in my book. Well, hope he has a shilling if he comes. He's entitled to have. After all, it's his place. He could have seen there was enough gas for a cup of tea.
What do you mean it's his place?
Well, it is, isn't it?
Well, he's probably only just rented it. It doesn't have to be his place.
I know it's his place. I bet the whole house is. No, he's not laying on any gas either. Oh, it's his place, all right. Look at all the other places. You go to this address, there's a key there, there's a teapot, there's never a soul in sight. Nobody hears a word. Have you ever thought of that? We never get any complaints, do we? Too much noise or anything? And you never see a soul, do you? Except the bloke who comes in. Oh, have you ever noticed that? I wonder if these walls are soundproof. Can't tell. All you do is wait, eh? And half the time he doesn't even bother to put in an appearance, Wilson.
Why should he? He's a busy man.
I find him very hard to talk to, Wilson. You know that, Ben?
Oh, scrub round it, will you?
There are a number of things I'd like to ask him, but I never get round to it when I see him. I've been thinking about that last one.
What last one?
The girl. How many times have you read that paper?
What do you mean?
Well, I was just wondering...
Are you criticising me?
No!
Well, look, you'll get a swipe round the arrow, mate, if you're not careful.
Oh, look here, Ben.
I'm not looking anywhere. How many times have I... Called what a bloody liberty.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Well, just get on with it, mate. Get on with it, that's all.
I was thinking about that girl, that's all. She wasn't much to look at, I know, but still. It was a mess, though, wasn't it? What a mess. Honest, Ben, I can't remember a mess like that one. They don't seem to hold together like men, women. Elusive texture like. Didn't she spread, eh? She didn't half spread. Cool. But I've been meaning to ask you something. Who clears up after we've gone? I'm very curious about that. Who does the clearing up? Maybe they don't clear up. Maybe they just leave them there, eh? What do you think? How many jobs have we done? Blimey, I can't count them. What if they never clear up anything after we've gone?
You nut! Do you think we're the only branch of this organisation? Have a bit of common. Whew, they got departments for everything.
What, cleaners and all?
Oh, you dope.
No, it was that girl that made me start to think that...
What is it?
Here, you have a look at it.
Read it.
2 braised steak with chips. 2 sago puddings. 2 teas without sugar.
Here, let me see that.
2 teas without sugar? What do you think of it?
Well...
They give us a chance! They're in a hurry, aren't they? It's a bit funny, isn't it?
Funny? Oh, no. No, it probably used to be a cafe here, that's all. Oh, they change hands very quickly, these places.
Cafe?
Yes.
Oh, you mean this was the kitchen down here?
Yes, they change hands overnight. Go into liquidation. The people who run them find it's not a going concern, so they move out.
You mean the people that ran this place did not find it a going concern and moved out?
Yes.
Well, who's got it now?
What do you mean, who's got it now?
Who's got it now? If they moved out, who moved in?
That all depends.
Soup of the day, liver and onions, jam tart.
Well, we'd better send them something up.
Hey?
We'd better send them something up.
Oh, yes, maybe you're right.
What have you got in that bag of yours?
Oh, not much. Wait a minute!
Don't do that.
Biscuits. Bottle of chocolate. Half a pint of milk.
That all?
Packet of tea.
Good.
We can't send them the tea. It's all the tea we've got.
There's no gas. You can't do anything with it, can you?
Maybe they'll send us down a bulb.
What else is there?
One Eccles cake.
One Eccles cake?
Yes.
You didn't tell me you had an Eccles cake.
Didn't I?
Why have you only got one? Why didn't you bring one for me?
Well, I didn't think you'd be keen.
Well, we can't send them up one Eccles cake anyway.
Why not?
Go and get one of them plates.
All right. Do you mean I can keep the Eccles cake then?
Keep it?
Well, they don't know we've got it, do they?
Well, that's not the point.
Can't I keep it?
No, you can't. Get the plate. Where did these come from?
What?
Where did these crisps come from?
Where did you find them?
You're playing a dirty game, my boy.
I only eat them with beer.
Well, where were you going to get beer from?
I was saving them till I did.
I'll remember this. Put everything on the plate. Hey, wait a minute!
What's going on?
It's your stupid fault playing about.
What do we do now?
Wait till it comes down. You'd better get ready.
Ben,
What?
what's going on around here?
You mean what's going on around here?
How can this be a cafe?
It used to be a cafe, that's all.
Have you seen the gas stove?
What about it?
There's only 3 rings.
Oh, so what?
Well, you couldn't cook very much on only 3 rings. Not for a busy place like this.
Well, that's why the service is slow.
Yes, but what do they do when we're not here? What do they do then? All these menus coming down and nothing going up. Might have been going on like this for years. What do they do when we're not here? Can't do much business. Macaroni pasticcio or metha macaronata.
What's that?
Macaroni pasticcio or metha macaronata.
Greek dishes.
No.
That's right.
Pretty high class.
Yeah, quick, before it goes up again.
Three McVitie price. 1 Smith's Crisps. 1 Lyons Red Label. 1 Eccles Cake. 1 Fruit and Nut.
Cadbury's.
Cadbury's.
1 bottle of milk.
1 bottle of milk. half a pint, and express dairy. Just did it.
You shouldn't shout like that.
Why not?
It's not done. That ought to be all right, anyway, for the time being.
Think so, eh?
Get dressed, will you? It'll be any minute now.
This is some place. No tea and no biscuits.
Eating makes you lazy, mate. You're getting lazy, do you know that? You don't want to get slack on your job.
Oh, me?
Slack, mate, slack.
Oh, me slack.
Have you checked your gun? You haven't even checked your gun. Looks disgraceful. Why don't you polish it sometimes?
I wonder where the cook is. They must have had a few to cope with that. Maybe they had more gas stoves. Maybe there's another kitchen in the passage.
Well, of course there is. Do you know what it takes to make an Olmita macaronada?
No, what?
An Olmita? Oh, back your ideas up, will you?
Takes a few cooks, eh? The sooner we get out of this place, the better. Why doesn't he get in touch? I feel like I've been here years. Never let him down, though, have we? Never let him down. I was thinking only the other day, Ben. We're reliable, aren't we? Still, we're glad when it's over. Oh, I hope that bloke doesn't get excited or anything. I'm feeling a bit off. I got a splitting headache. One bamboo shoots, water chestnuts and chicken. One char siu and bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts?
Yes.
Blimey.
I wouldn't know where to begin. They sent back the tea.
What did they do that for?
Maybe it isn't tea time.
Look, we'd better tell them.
Tell them what?
We can't do it. We haven't got it.
All right, then.
Well, give us your pencil. We'll write them a note.
What's this?
What?
This.
This? It's a speaking tube.
How long has that been there?
Just the job. We should have used that before instead of shouting up there.
Funny, I didn't notice it before.
Well, come on.
What do we do?
Well, you see that? That's a whistle.
What, that?
Yes, take it out. Pull it out. That's right. Now blow into it.
No.
You see, it whistles up there if you blow, and they know you want to speak to them. Blow.
Can't hear a thing.
Well, now speak into it. Speak.
The larder's bare.
To me. Good evening. We're terribly sorry to bother you, but we think you ought to know that we have nothing left. We sent you up all we had. There's no more food down here. What? What? No, all we had we sent up. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. The Eccles cake was stale. The chocolate was melted. The milk was sour.
What about the crisps?
The biscuits were mouldy. Oh, we're very sorry indeed to hear that. What? What? Oh, yes. Yes, certainly. Right away. Did you hear that?
No, what?
He said, light the kettle. Not put on the kettle, not light the gas, but light the kettle.
How can we light the kettle?
What do you mean?
There's no gas.
Well, now what are we going to do?
What did he want us to light the kettle for?
For tea. He wanted a cup of tea.
He wanted a cup of tea. What about me? I've been wanting a cup of tea all night.
But what are we going to do now?
What are we supposed to drink? What about us? I'm thirsty too. I'm starving. He wants a cup of tea. Well, that beats the band, that does. I could do with a bit of sustenance myself. What about you? You look as if you could do with something too. We've sent up all we've got and he's not satisfied. Honest, it's enough to make a cat laugh. Why did you send him up all that stuff? Why did I do it? Who knows what he's got upstairs? He's probably got a salad bowl. They must have something up there. They won't get very much from down here. You notice he didn't ask for any salads. They probably got a salad bowl up there. Cold meat, cucumbers, radishes, watercress, roll mops, hard-boiled eggs. The lot. They've probably got a crate of beer up there, too. Probably eating my crisps with a pint of beer right now. Oh, they do all right. Don't worry about that. You don't think they're just sitting up there waiting for stuff to come from down here? Oh, that'll get them nowhere. They do all right. And he wants a cup of tea. That's past a joke, in my opinion. You don't look too bright. What's the matter? I could do with something to settle my stomach, too.
Time's getting on.
I know. I don't like doing a job on an empty stomach.
Be quiet a moment. Let me give you your instructions.
Oh, what for? We always do it the same way, don't we?
Let me give you your instructions. When the call comes, you go over and stand behind the door.
Stand behind the door.
If there's a knock on the door, you don't answer it.
If there's a knock on the door, I don't answer it.
But there won't be a knock on the door.
So I won't answer it.
When the bloke comes in...
When the bloke comes in...
You close the door behind him.
I close the door behind him.
Without divulging your presence.
Without divulging my presence.
He'll see me and come towards me.
He'll see you and come towards you.
He won't see you.
Hey?
He won't see you.
He won't see me.
But he will see me.
But he'll see you.
He won't know you're there.
He won't know you're there.
He won't know you're there.
No. He won't know I'm there.
I take out my gun.
You take out your gun.
He stops in his tracks.
He stops in his tracks.
If he turns round...
If he turns round...
You're there.
I'm here. Why? Give us something out.
I know. What?
I haven't taken my gun out, according to you.
You take out your gun...
After I've closed the door.
After you've closed the door.
You never missed that out before, you know that?
When he sees you behind him...
Me behind him.
And me in front of him...
And you in front of him.
He'll feel uncertain.
Uneasy.
He won't know what to do.
So what'll he do?
He'll look at me and he'll look at you.
We won't say a word.
We'll look at him.
He won't say a word.
He'll look at us.
We'll look at him.
And nobody says a word.
What do we do if it's a girl?
We do the same.
Exactly the same?
Exactly.
We don't do anything different?
We do exactly the same.
Oh. Excuse me. Why did he send us matches if he knew there was no gas? Ben, why did he send us matches if he knew there was no gas? Why did he do that?
Who?
Who sent us those matches?
What are you talking about?
Who is it upstairs?
What's one thing to do with another?
Who is it, though?
What's one thing to do with another?
I asked you a question.
Enough.
I asked you before. Who moved in, I asked you. You said the people that had it before moved out. Well, who moved in?
Shut up!
I told you, didn't I?
Shut up!
I told you before who owned this place, didn't I? I told you. I told you who ran this place, didn't I? Well, what's he playing all these games for? That's what I want to know. What's he doing it for?
What games?
What's he doing it for? We've been through our tests, haven't we? We got right through them years ago, didn't we? We took them together, don't you remember, didn't we? We've always done our job. We've proved ourselves before now, haven't we? So what's he doing it for? What's the idea? What's he playing all these games for? Camping? We've got nothing left. Nothing. You understand?
Don't be maniac!
You heard?
That's enough! I warned you! God. Listen to this. What about that, eh? God. Have you ever heard such a thing?
Go on.
It's true.
Get away.
It's down here in black and white.
Is that a fact?
Can you imagine it?
Unbelievable.
It's enough to make you want to puke, isn't it?
Incredible.
Where are you going?
I'm going to have a glass of water.
Right. Straight away, right? Show me ready. Understood. Repeat. He has arrived and will be coming in straight away. The normal method to be employed. Understood. Show me ready. Right. Yes. Gas!
Our next two productions will be television premieres of one-act comedies by two playwrights better known for their full-length plays, Moliere and Sheridan. Next week, St. Patrick's Day, or The Scheming Lieutenant, a farce originally produced at London's Covent Garden in 1775, written by Richard Brinsley Sheridan, and performed for television by the Charles Playhouse of Boston. And 2 weeks from tonight, Moliere's comedy of 1664, The Forced Marriage, in a new translation by Albert Bermel, production by the MacArthur Theatre of Princeton University.
Black arsenic. Run for Dr. Rosie, you rat.
No, sir.
Oh, you may be sure it is in vain, lovey. Let him run for the lawyer to make your will, my life.
Go fetch the doctor, you scoundrel. You are both Confederate murderers.
And you'll be defended.
I'll shoot. I'll shoot. I'll shoot. And so, your very humble servant, honest Humphrey Ham.